Which now brings us to my SummerSlam predictions. I do want to mention before I get into this a small programming note regarding my SummerSlam results and reaction video on Sunday night. There is a slight chance that that video could be delayed a few hours. My idiot friends scheduled my fantasy football draft for Sunday night. Now, this isn't going to be happening until very late. This isn't going to be happening until about 2 hours after SummerSlam goes off the air. But I don't know if that's going to be enough time for me to get a commentary up before I have to go to my fucking draft. So if I'm not able to get a commentary up in time, I'll go do the draft and I'll come home and I'll upload the commentary just a couple of hours later. So you'll either get a commentary from me, 2 hours after SummerSlam ends, or maybe like 8 hours after SummerSlam ends. So just keep that in mind. If you're looking for my results and reaction video on Sunday night, it may be delayed just a few hours due to my fantasy football draft. And I will keep you updated on Twitter as well. If the commentary is going to be delayed, I will be sure to let you guys know on Twitter. So make sure you follow me. As far as SummerSlam goes, according to WWE.com, there is 12 matches announced for the show. I mentioned earlier on when I talked about Raw that I wouldn't be surprised if they threw a kickoff match at us unannounced, maybe impromptu. Maybe the Hardy Boys do something. Maybe the Miz Taraj does something. Maybe the Drifter and R-Truth, maybe the Ascension and Fandango and Tyler Breeze or something like that. I wouldn't completely rule out. But right now, all I have is 12 matches with only one kickoff match announced, which is the SmackDown Tag Team title match between the Usos and the New Day. Since this is a kickoff match, I don't see a title change happening here. I'm going to predict the New Day. I think these two teams will have a really good match, and they will really set the stage for SummerSlam because every time these two teams work together, they tear the house down. I think the kickoff match will be no different. I think the crowd will be into it. We'll hear some "This is awesome" chants. The boys will work their asses off, but at the end of the day, I think New Day is going to retain the titles here. A kickoff show seems like an odd place to do a title change again, especially since you just put the belts back on the New Day. So I think they survive here and maybe have one more final blow-off match with the Usos at the next SmackDown pay-per-view. We have Big Show taking on Big Cass. You got to go with Big Cass in this thing. WWE is pushing this guy as a new monster heel, and I can't see a one-arm Big Show going in there and beating Cass. If he does that, that kind of buries Cass. So I think Cass is the likely winner here. Maybe he gets some help from Gallows and Anderson. I don't know what the fuck Enzo's going to be doing up there in that shark cage. I don't know if he's going to find a way to get involved. Who was the last guy to be up in the cage? Jericho? Didn't he do something with Kevin Owens like he dropped a chain or dropped some brass knuckles from the cage into the ring? So maybe Enzo was packing some weapons and he can drop some shit down to Big Show or something like that. But at the end of the day, I think Cass is going to get the victory there. We have Bray Wyatt taking on the Demon, Finn Balor. Hands down, got to go with Balor. They're not going to bring back the Demon and have him lose, especially after he lost clean to Bray Wyatt on Monday night. So I'm picking Finn Balor to win that match. Neville is challenging for the Cruiserweight title instead of defending it. He's taking on Tozawa. And here's kind of a weird one that I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick Neville to retain. A lot of people, I think, are going to predict Tozawa, thinking that the WWE is going to go with Tozawa now. Neville had a nice, long, healthy run. He's dropped it, and now they're going to move on with Tozawa and let him hold it for a little while. But I actually think Neville might get the belt back and beat Akira Tozawa, so I'm going to predict him to regain the Cruiserweight title at SummerSlam. Randy Orton versus Rusev, that's not a real tough one to predict. I would love Rusev to lock Randy Orton in the Accolade and tap him out, but that ain't going to happen. Randy Orton's had a long string of pay-per-view losses lately. All those losses to Jinder Mahal. He's got to bounce back here, and I see him RKOing and pinning Rusev and winning that match. Naomi defending the SmackDown Women's title against Natalya. I got to go with Natty. I really want Natty to win. If anything, just as out of respect for Brett, for her uncle Brett, who won the WWE title 20 years ago at this very event against The Undertaker. I think that would be a really nice throwback if his niece is able to go out there and also win a title. Natty has not held the women's title since it switched over from the Divas title. She's long overdue for a run, and I would like to see her win it, and I think SummerSlam is the perfect place for her to win it. Whether or not Carmella cashes in, I have no idea. I mean, that's not something I can really predict. It seems likely that she will, especially since Baron Corbin no longer has a briefcase. Carmella could very well show up here and cash in. Maybe she cashes in on Natty, and then you have some triple threats between all three of them because now Natalya and Naomi are going to be entitled to rematches, so that's a very good possibility. But I'm not really going to predict a cash-in. That's not really part of the pay-per-view. There's no really way to predict that. They might do it on SmackDown. They might do it at the next pay-per-view, or they might do it at SummerSlam. All I know is in the match with Naomi and Natalya, I'm picking Natalya. What happens from there, that's anybody's guess. Since I am picking the SmackDown Women's title to change hands, I am not picking the Raw Women's title to change hands. I think Alexa Bliss is going to retain over Sasha Banks. I think Sasha Banks is just a fill-in for Bayley. If Bayley was in this match, they might do a title change. They might actually have Bayley beat Alexa and come full circle and win the belt back after that long, dry spell that she had, losing all those matches after the great beginning of the year that Bayley had. To see her come around and win the title at SummerSlam, I think would have been nice. But she's out, of course, because of that injury. They inserted Sasha Banks in her place, and I think you should keep the belt on Alexa. I don't want to see both ladies' titles change hands at the same show. I think you do one and not the other. And I think Alexa Bliss will retain, so I'm picking her there. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins challenging Sheamus and Cesaro for the Raw Tag Team titles. I'm going with the Shield, baby. You guys know I'm a Shield mark. I always have been. And whether or not this alliance between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins is short-lived, or whether or not it lasts a little bit longer, I don't know. But I would really like to see them win the Tag Team titles. I think that they will. I think the alliance between the two is too over to end it right away like this at SummerSlam. They might. They very well could. Dean Ambrose could turn heel and shock the world at SummerSlam. I'm not saying that's out of the question. I just hope and think that Ambrose and Rollins will get a run with those tag team belts. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens for the United States title. I'm picking AJ. I think Shane is going to be involved in the finish there, and whatever happens, he's going to intentionally or unintentionally screw over Kevin Owens, leading to a program between the two of them, and AJ can hopefully move on to a new opponent to defend his United States title against. So I'm picking AJ to retain. John Cena versus Baron Corbin. I talked a lot about this match earlier on. I picked John Cena right from the start. To me, it seemed completely obvious with him jobbing to Shinsuke not long ago, moving over to the Raw brand. He needs a big victory here. Plus, he's lost like 500 SummerSlam matches in a row. This guy is long overdue for a victory in August, and I think that he's going to beat Baron Corbin. But considering how shitty Baron Corbin looked on SmackDown and how pissed off he is at John Cena now, maybe Baron Corbin can get some sort of revenge on John Cena, but I don't see it happening. I think John Cena's going to win. Maybe John Cena wins the match, and then Baron Corbin beats the fuck out of him after the match or something like that and puts him through a table or whatever. But as far as the match itself goes, I think John Cena gets the victory here. Jinder Mahal defending the WWE title against Shinsuke Nakamura. Like I talked about earlier on, not a whole lot of story to this match. And I think there's more to be seen from these two guys. And I think they can work the next pay-per-view, maybe even the one after that. So I'm going to predict Jinder to retain. I would love more than anything to see Shinsuke Nakamura as the WWE champion. If he wins the title on Sunday, I will be the first one to congratulate his ass on Twitter because I will be thrilled. But I kind of see Jinder retaining. And he might as well. You know, WWE is doing this Jinder experiment right now. They put the belt on him. He's had a long string of pay-per-view victories here. They might want to keep it going one more. And since I'm predicting him to retain, I got to predict the title change in the Fatal 4-Way match for the Universal title. I have picked Braun Strowman since day one. Ever since this Fatal 4-Way was announced, I was saying Strowman, 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 and I got to stick with that prediction. WWE has done an amazing job building up Braun Strowman into this monster. I mean, all of these victories that he's had throughout the summer against Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns tried to kill this guy, and he fucking walked away from it. And he's the only guy, he's the one guy on the roster. This is the closest WWE has come to making a Brock Lesnar level guy that's that scary, that believable, that badass. Braun Strowman has done a great job with his push so far, and I think he needs to win the title at SummerSlam. What a great launching for him. He's going to be a big part of WWE's future. They want to build him as a major contender and a major guy in WWE. He has that aura, that mystique of being a monster just like Brock Lesnar does, and he's full-time. He ain't sitting on his ass in Canada for 9 months out of the year. He's actually going to be wrestling week after week on TV, and I think he would be a great guy to put the belt on, so I'm going to stick with that prediction and predict that Braun Strowman walks out of SummerSlam with the title. And you have to wonder where that leaves Brock Lesnar. You know, I mentioned earlier how Paul Heyman has been saying that he's going to leave the WWE with Brock Lesnar if Brock drops the belt. But I think Paul Heyman is more concerned with it being an uphill battle, Brock Lesnar being at a huge disadvantage, and he keeps talking about the fact that Brock Lesnar can lose the belt without being involved in the finish. Well, what if he is involved in the finish? What if Braun Strowman pins Brock Lesnar? You think Brock Lesnar is really going to take his ball and go home and pack up and go back to Canada? No, Brock Lesnar is a competitor. He wants to be the best. He's going to want a rematch with Braun Strowman if Braun Strowman beats him. And we've seen Brock Lesnar advertised for a couple of Raws in September and late August or whatever. I think he's going to be wrestling at No Mercy as well. So it's not like Brock Lesnar is going to pack up and leave the WWE. Even if he does, he's going to be back a week or two later. So if they don't have Braun Strowman win the title, the only other guy I can think of to have win it would be Brock retaining. That's the only other option I can think of. I don't really see Samoa Joe winning it. I don't see Roman Reigns winning it. But I think the most likely winners of this are Braun Strowman or Brock Lesnar. That's what they were building up on Monday Night Raw with the big separation and the pull apart and the big stare down and the confrontation between the two. It's a match that we've really been looking forward to seeing in the future, and we probably will. So if Braun Strowman wins the belt, that could set up Brock versus Strowman one-on-one at No Mercy. So just to recap, I have The New Day, Big Cass, Finn Balor, Neville, Randy Orton, Natalya, Alexa Bliss, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, John Cena, Jinder Mahal, and Braun Strowman all picking up victories. It looks like I have, let's see, how many heels do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like I'm 6-6. 6 baby faces winning, 6 heels winning. And I think I've got, 3 title changes? I've got Neville regaining the Cruiserweight title, Natalya winning the Women's title, Ambrose and Rollins winning the tag belts, and Braun Strowman winning the Universal title. So 6 heels, 6 baby faces, and 4 title changes is what I have for my SummerSlam predictions. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Which matches do you think I have right or wrong? Lay out all your predictions for me, and we'll see who turns out to be right come Sunday. So that is it for me. I'm going to get out of here. I had to record this commentary twice, and I am sick of talking. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this thing and try to get it to you. It's going to be a little bit late, but hopefully not too late. And for those of you who are going to be around this Sunday for SummerSlam, I will be home all day. So I'll probably do some sort of an early Twitter Q&A or something like that. So join me on Twitter maybe an hour or two before the pay-per-view. I'll be up here chatting with all of you, and you guys are welcome to fire away questions at me, and I'll answer them, and we can kind of just hang out and enjoy the show. It should be a lot of fun. So you guys have a great rest of your week. Enjoy TakeOver on Saturday night, and I will talk to you all late on Sunday night with your SummerSlam reaction video. Until next time,